difference between I-485 and I-485J form? Sure, this is a big question that's popping out with the visa bulletin changes. Form I-485 is an application for adjustment of status, which is your request to get a green card in the United States based on some other thing. You had a relative or employer or something like that, or maybe you were an asylee for a year. Form I-485J is a unique form intended just for people that have employment-based green cards. And so what happens is with Form I-485J, your employer is going to sign it as well, the person who's going to employ you, that is. That in the document essentially says that it updates the government that this job still exists. So let me back it up a little bit. When you're starting an employment-based green card, the employer first has to, file separate forms to say this job exists and no one else can fill it out, and for the government to approve that kind of job. That's done through the PERM process and Form I-140. Depending on what country you're from, you may or may not be able to file for adjustment of status at the same time as filing the Form I-140. For example, if you're from India, you could start the process, but it's going to take 5, 10, 15, 20 years or more until you could actually file for adjustment of status Form I-485. But when the time comes to file for I-85, which is your application green card, a lot of time has passed since they did the initial work that said this job exists and this person is good for the job. So what we used to have to do is just send a letter, and that once the time comes, the visa bulletin comes clear, send a letter that says this job still exists and the employer signs off on it. But USCIS decided to make a form system for that because people were sending different kinds of letters and stuff like that to make it more consistent. So they created Form I-485J. So for example, right now I have several Indian clients and Chinese clients as well who have started the green card based on an employment process years ago, but there was a big line there. The line moved up dramatically in October, so now they can file for a green card because their place in line is here to apply for a green card. So with these, I have to file for I-485J as well with the help of the employer and all that. To say, hey, that job that we requested a green card for many years ago, well, now's the time in the line for us to apply for the green card, and that job still exists, and the employer here is signing off on it and putting the information there. So that's Form I-485J. You submit that with the I-485. Now, there's another situation where Form I-485J is used as well, and this is if you filed the Form I-140 and I-485, and your case is pending more than 6 months, 180 days, and the employee then all of a sudden says, I found a different job opportunity that more suits me, I'm going to switch jobs. So to be able to switch jobs to that new job, have the case transfers called portability, you file Form I-485J, the new employer writes their information so the government knows that there's a transfer of the employment and the job is the same or similar kind of job. And that's a very big overview of it. I'm not going into more details. I'm sure I lost some people or made some people bored, but that's Form I-485J. It's to show essentially that this job exists and it still exists. That's the short answer for that one. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please click subscribe down here and ring that bell to get the latest updates. Also, please follow us at the links above on these various social media sites to catch the latest information, live videos, and more to help you be updated on U.S. immigration.